I feel like every couple of years there's a new statue of a sports figure and it looks bad.
Look at this.
Yeah, that's not good.
I think this looks like, kind of looks like Thanos passing a stone.
Welcome to the Oh Hell Yeah podcast.
Hey, everybody. Welcome to another episode of Oh Hell Yeah. I'm Eddie Della, Siepe.
And over here is Brent Flyberg.
We're here. We're peers.
Get used to it.
That's like a third strike. Brought it in.
Ring him up.
We're here in beautiful Spiderhouse Rule Studios. And before we get into the episode, do this podcast a favor. Subscribe to the podcast. Hit the notification bell. Get notified every time an episode comes out. If you're listening on Apple Music or Spotify, follow the show. Leave a comment. Leave a review. It helps the show grow.
Tell your friends.
We are doing a quick pod because the game is in exactly 1 hour.
1 hour. Game 3 of the World Series between the Los Angeles Dodgers and the New York Yankoffs. Got him.
It's about time these two cities got some shine.
Yeah, finally.
Finally. Milwaukee, Cleveland, Tampa Bay,
Seattle.
you've gotten too much shine.
Yeah.
LA, New York. It's about
It's
time
our
people look at what they're doing.
Finally, someone paying attention to our fair burg.
Did you see the Ice Cube enter?
I
the Ice
missed-
Cube.
I
I
missed
sound like a
that.
boomer dad. You missed it? Did you watch
missed
it on YouTube?
No, I didn't. I was watching the game at E-Rustic, but I realized that I didn't have. I thought I had Zins in my car, and I didn't, so I had to run down the street to buy Zins, and so I missed Ice Cube.
Oh, no.
Yeah.
Sign of a problem.
Yeah.
It's the World Series, and you're a baseball fan. And you had to leave a game to go get your little fix.
I had to leave a pre-game to get my little fix.
No,
it's different.
no. You'd run out of bed if you could have a Zyn after sex.
Say that again.
You jump out of bed and you get a Zyn if you could.
Yeah, I could. Yeah, I would.
When's as soon as you can pop a Zyn after sex?
I think if they're close to the bed, a couple minutes.
No,
But if you gotta get
you
up,
gotta have a shirt on. You can't Zyn
Whoa,
naked.
I thought this was America. You're telling me I got to put a shirt on to have a Zyn in?
I'm sorry, Kim Jong-il. I'm sorry.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I didn't know it was illegal for me to be in my front yard with my shirt off, a Miller High Life, and 6 Zins in my mouth.
Is it a crime to be a man?
Yeah. Well, they're trying to make it one.
Not in my America.
No.
I have a rule. I think if you consume any kind of food or unless it's a cigarette, which is classic.
Yes.
That's a classic. Having a nice smoke after making love to a woman or man or they or that's about it. As long as they're humans.
Sure.
A cigarette is
consenting adults.
yes, consenting adults. If you have a cigarette after you make love, totally cool. Vaping,
Less cool.
less cool.
Less cool, but also that whole cigarette after sex, it's kind of over. We're not smoking inside anymore.
Yeah, I guess. Maybe we're old and that's a classic time.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah, sounds great, but it's just like, no, you're not smoking.
if you're doing like a hard drug after, I guess it's kind of rock and roll.
Mm-hmm.
If you're like doing anything after making love that isn't the actual thing, like if you make love and then you just put on a nicotine patch on your shoulder.
Oh, while I'm naked, just slap it on there.
Yeah, well, I'll just put that on my testicles. It gets right to my body. Or if you chew some nicotine gum, that's kind of bad.
It's kind of.
A
I mean,
Zyn?
is that any worse than like being like, oh, gum, and popping a little gum in?
That's true. But a Zyn, if she rolls over and she sees you're just like kind of packed up a little bit, it can't be that good for her to see that.
No, I guess not. I guess she doesn't want to be reminded that I'm a little rat for my dopamine, my nicotine.
Back to Ice Cube came out and did the
Ice Cube.
So I will say,
Did he rap the national anthem? I don't understand what he was doing there.
rap the national anthem sounds funny.
Mm-hmm.
No, he came out and just did like a couple songs that are very West Coast. Today was a good day, all that stuff like that. So he came and he was literally like, it looked so cool. They just did a shot from showing his chucks and just going like this, showing his number, like his jersey. Like I think it was Fernando Venezuela's jersey, I think.
R.I.P.
And then it was just like, what up, L.A.? And he just one guy from the warning track just doing 2 songs and a concert all the way to home plate.
He just walked from the outfield to the home plate and
did 2 songs.
That's pretty
It was,
cool.
It was just
I'll have
one
to look
guy,
that
a
up.
mic. Everyone was just like bopping, and he changed the lyrics to say to include the Yankees.
Yeah.
And it was pretty cool because
Yeah, the
obviously there's-
Dodgers beat the Yankees instead of the Lakers beat the Supersonics, maybe.
Yeah, or something like that. But it was all great. He shouted out Fernando Venezuela on the his number was on the mound. Mm-hmm. Cool. And all I could think was like New York. You gotta like. How do you follow up with that?
Yeah, we'll see tonight.
Did he?
Did he?
Did he comes out?
Maybe a Notorious B.I.G. hologram.
Or maybe.
I mean, if they could get Jay-Z, Jay-Z's the only appropriate response. I
Yeah,
think.
maybe. But did he be cool? He just comes out for the warning track, starts throwing lube out into the audience, some baby oil.
In his correction facility, uniform,
Garb,
jumpsuit.
Yeah. That'd be kind of cool. Goes bad boy for life, and then makes a jet line right for the out of the stadium.
Just runs for it.
But what was I gonna say? I end up missing the greatest home run in the last, I'd say, 20 years in Major League Baseball, maybe more.
Yeah,
I missed it.
you did
Because I was destroying on stage.
He
in
was
San
crushing.
Diego.
I'll give him that.
I was getting
He
to
was
know.
having a really good set.
I was getting to know 30 people in a room. You missed it.
You did.
This guy crushed.
Thank you.
I
did.
watched his set on my camera. Me and my wife watching him, being like, "Are you feeling something?" I'm like, "I'm feeling something." He's so tall, and he's just like really owns the stage. He's like soft spoken, but commands the audience. I'm like, "Yeah." Are you
made your
feeling-
wife watch that?
No, I had it on. She's like, "Hello." I'm like, "Yeah." You've never seen Brent perform? And then
She hasn't, has she?
No, I keep her away from you. Yeah, you're taller. You got the same hairline. Better jokes. So we're watching it. She's getting hot and heavy. I'm getting really hot and heavy. It's getting hot. We start making love to one of your bits.
Honestly, that's what they're for.
No, thank God.
I make comedy to make love to.
Yeah, my wife made love to my bit while we made love to your bits. But thank God it was a shorter set. It was a full headline. I don't think I could last.
No.
Imagine somebody listening to it for the first time. Like, I don't know if it's irony.
what are they?
Is it funny that he thinks it's gay? How old is this guy?
Yeah.
Is he 30?
And a set is watching his friend's set is porn to him.
I don't get it. I mean, man, then they're like, I gotta watch the set now.
And you know what? Maybe I'll put it online just for you.
But it was a fun show in San Diego. Small audience, but we gave them the best show in town.
We did.
That room kind of rocked.
That room did rock. The gold room at Mike Drop Mania San Diego. Shout out Mike Drop Mania San Diego. They were very cool to us in that room. Yeah, the way that's configured, the sound is really nice in there. So you get a big laugh. Boy, it feels like you're getting a big laugh.
To the non-comedy club or comedian aficionados out there or non-comedians listening, we don't ask for much.
We certainly do.
Give me a free meal.
a meal.
A green room with a TV and cable. I'm like, I don't care who's out there.
And they gave us both.
Gave us both.
So we got to watch a lot of the game before our sets.
Yeah. Right.
And that was great.
That was great. But I will say I've done that before when there's a big game on and you're performing, and then the game is you're more excited about seeing the outcome of the game than performing. You get a little distracted. You don't look at your notes. You forget your notes by the camera on the table.
Yes.
And you end up really scrambling on stage a lot. You know
how it goes.
Right? Not me. I was a well-prepared person, and those people bought their tickets in advance got a show that was prepared and a routine that was well-honed.
Yes.
Not me just asking random questions to buy
Consummate
time.
professional. Yeah. Those were all planned crowd work interactions.
Yeah, what do you do and how long you been together? You can't write that kind
No,
of
you
stuff.
can't. No.
But I left the green room. It was 2-2. Thinking like, it'll probably go into extras a little bit. And then, I was having fun on stage. I see you, your face is just kind of like, dude, you'll never believe what happened. Don't look at the score, which is impossible.
Yeah.
It's not the 90s.
Yeah. I was going to try and bring you back into the green room and rewind the TV.
That would have been sick.
Yeah, but it wouldn't go back far enough.
A real friend.
Yeah.
A real friend. Well,
Yeah.
nah, but you didn't know how to turn it in.
Yeah, I couldn't figure it out, but it was a nice thought.
Yeah, good thought.
Yeah.
Thought counts.
Yeah.
But when you said, can you avoid looking at the score? There was no way because
it
the
would've been
notifications,
impossible,
everything. And then I'm a Dodger fan. You're a Dodger fan. Obviously secondary, yeah. But still, it would have been really nice to see that live because I would have screamed my little body off.
Dude, it was sick. Watching it live was very sick. It was me and Josh Waldron. Shout out to Josh Waldron, who was also on the show.
Good guy.
We were watching it in the green room, and we both kind of lost it back there. We were a little worried that you could hear us in the room.
Man, what would you do if you just saw me go like this? Yes! And I just jump up like that with my little arm up like that.
I would think you were doing a Mario impression.
Woohoo! Yahoo! I just like jump on the couch and like pull Tom Cruise.
Yes! I love this team.
I love sports, and sports from a city that I'm from is even better. Isn't this great? Let's all kiss. Imagine that, like a closeted guy.
I'll take a bus home.
Imagine that a closeted guy celebrates game with friends. Oh, I'm so happy we could all. I
guess we could all. I'm so happy I could kiss you.
Yeah, imagine we were all naked right now. Wouldn't that be even better?
Yeah. oh no, we're all covered in. I bought champagne and I'm spraying it. Oh no, we're all so wet. We gotta take our clothes off.
I just take off my shirt on the head. No, you. And you're like, hey. Like, what? I thought it's a game. We're winning. Oh man, fun drive back, good times, good convo. Love something about when you're with some friends on the road, or even guys that you're just like really friendly with. Nothing beats it.
Yeah, it's pretty fun.
Even that room could have 30 people in there, or could 300, and you walk away, be like, hey, we ate, we got some laughs, we got paid, we didn't. It wasn't a stress to get there, which we thought it was going to be.
Yeah. And it wasn't easy. It was still like a 2.5.
Dude,
it took us 2.5 hours.
I don't know what it was. Maybe it was like a full moon or something, but we saw a lot of car crashes.
We did. We saw a flipped over car in L.A.
We saw
not even on the freeway, on a side street, a fully flipped over car.
We saw an SUV with just dudes on the curb just doing this. And I was just like, yeesh. And I think a bunch when we were driving, we just saw like...
Yeah, we saw a bunch of accidents.
Yeah. And all I could think was that episode when we talked about my flat tire. I was like, what would I do?
Can you fix a flipped over car? I could fix a flat. I could change a flat, but if you flip it over, there's nothing I can do for you.
Yeah, just call my father-in-law. The car's flipped over.
Yeah.
How do you fix that?
Yeah, what did you... Hey, you're a car guy, right?
Okay, so it's engulfed in flames. Is there some? What do you recommend?
Yeah, can I still drive it home?
a charred BMW. Speaking of sports, I wanted to bring this up. And I thought I can actually show you whatever. Did you see?
Show me.
Did you see the Dwayne Wade statue?
I saw a little bit about this.
Did you see it though?
I didn't take a close look, but it did look crazy in my brief.
It looks insane. And here's the thing, okay? Listen, I love seeing a nice statue that captures a great moments in sports history, especially for a city for any city, right? Mm-hmm. But here it comes, dude. Like, look at this.
Yeah, that's not good. That sort of looks like Lawrence Fishburne.
Yeah, I think this looks like Thanos passing a stone.
Yeah. Yeah.
Just like,
we got to stop doing this. We got to stop making these statues. I feel like every couple of years there's a new statue of a sports figure and it looks bad. Have you seen the Ronaldo statue?
Dude, I was going to say, here's my top 3 worst statues of all time.
Let's go.
Number 3, I would give it to Dwayne Wade. Dwayne Wade statue. Yeah. He looks like Thanos passing a stone. He looks like Lawrence Fishburne having a rough night. Mm-hmm. He looks like he's not happy. He looks like he's in a lot of pain.
Yeah, it looks bad.
Number 2.
Also, just doesn't look like Dwayne Wade.
At all. And he had a say in the making the statue. He was there making it.
That's weird.
Did you see his reaction? His reaction was like,
wow.
Who is that guy? And I was like, I don't think he means that sarcastically. I think he seriously doesn't know who that was. Number 2, gotta be Ronaldo.
Yeah, that's a really bad one. Yeah, it looks like the Joker went through that museum and fixed it, you know?
He looks like his parents were both fairies and related. the eyes are really close together.
They're so close together.
He looks like a pixie that's like on crack or something.
They really did him dirty.
So bad.
Yeah.
And the sad part about the Ronaldo statue is that he is a handsome man.
He's one of the handsomest guys to ever play a sport.
When he scores and takes his shirt off, we're all just salivating.
Soaking wet.
Yeah. And the worst, absolute worst statue of any sports hero, another soccer one. Number 1, Diego Maradona.
What's so bad about that one? That one looks okay to me.
Are you crazy?
I guess I don't have as much of an understanding as what Maradona looks like. Okay, his face is a little goofy. I still think that's better than Dwayne Wade.
I'm not kidding. This looks like my mother. He looks just like my mom. And he's holding up a trophy like my mom would hold up a pair of dirty socks. Like, who's this? What is this? Is this your? Huh? He looks. This is really bad.
You think that's worse than the Ronaldo?
Yes. Look at he looks like
no
like a
way.
little. He looks like my mother.
And your mother's a beautiful woman.
And my mother could kick a damn ball. Good ball. Maybe Ronaldo's worse. The Ronaldo one's insane.
He just looks so like it doesn't look like anyone's face, let alone his face. You know what I mean?
It looks really bad.
At least Maradona looks like your mom. That's a person.
Yeah. I don't get along with my mom, so maybe that's why.
Maybe that's why,
Yeah,
yeah.
maybe it's more me than anything. He does look boyish though.
He does. He looks boyish.
He looks like a boyish little boy. He's like, look what I found, the trophy.
It's sort of, and it sort of looks like he was like, make my hair thicker because it's so thick on this statue.
You know what? I guarantee you that a lot of these athletes, like Dwayne Wade did have a say in making the statue. He like helped them. And think of it like plastic surgery, right? If you let someone have free range plastic surgery, they usually go overboard.
Yeah.
So they compensate, like, no, take away that line, take away that. I never like my chin. And then it doesn't necessarily work in a cohesive way.
Yeah.
Look at Simon Cowell's face, dude.
Yeah, he looks weird now.
He looks bad.
So yeah, maybe Dwayne Wade's statue was a result of some sort of body dysmorphia, and he's like, "This is what I look like."
Yes.
And everybody else is like, "Actually, you look better than that. What is
Yeah.
going on, buddy?"
But Simon
because he's a handsome fella too.
Yeah, very handsome. He has got some jowls.
Yeah.
Yeah. Simon Cowell now looks kind of, and I don't think this is shaming at all because you made this.
Yeah, you did this.
Yeah, you went to a doctor, and then some Hollywood Beverly Hills plastic surgeon was like, has no moral compass or scruples, and they're just like, sure, we can just do that.
And he said, "Keep going."
Don't stop until the eyes are so open I can't even cry.
but still tiny.
Yeah, he looks like
looks
I used to live in West Hollywood for years, and you see some bad plastic surgery. Yeah, I think in LA in general.
LA in general, you see some bad plastic surgery, but also I'll say you see some really good. You see some really good work. You see an old person, and you're like, you look.
But is that plastic surgery? Or is that?
I think it is. I mean, I think it's cosmetic procedures of various kinds. You know.
But is it good living? Is it
Botox,
healthy living though?
Fillers. I mean, that's probably a factor as well.
Yeah, it's like these people are like doing yoga, doing Pilates.
Yeah.
They're like yoga. They're like doing juices. Also,
Blood boys.
They're getting the adrenochrome. Just pumped
whatever
right into their
Scientology offers.
bone broth.
Because like Tom Cruise, whatever Scientology's doing for him, he's younger than Walt, and that's crazy.
Is he younger than?
No, he's older. Sorry, he's older than Tim Waltz.
Is he?
Yeah.
How old's Tom Cruise?
He's like 60 something.
Is he really?
Yeah.
Oh my God.
He's been famous for 40 years.
Yeah, he has been famous for a long time. Does he look? Is he starting to finally look his age?
No, it's weird. He like looked. He got kind of weird looking, and then now he looks better, I think, than he did like 10 years ago.
Isn't it? You know what? He went from like super cool. God, he's creepy. And now
we're
super cool again.
I'm back. I'm back on Tom Cruise. I was
too.
off him for a while. I don't condone Scientology, but God damn it, that guy makes a fun movie.
Yeah, he does. He really tugs at your adolescent heartstrings because you're like, oh yeah, action flicks. Just non-apologetic action, jumping, diving,
Yeah.
racing, flying. Just
Big like set pieces and cars flying all over the place. Did you see the last Mission Impossible?
no, I didn't.
Sick.
It
It was so
really
sick,
taps
dude.
into your manhood. Huh?
Yeah, dude, it's kind of dumb, but it was like I loved watching it. Oh, I loved watching it.
It's funny how like we went from like making fun of Tom Cruise a lot and being like he runs in every movie. Look at him run. Now, the older you get as a man or as a human being, you like he's running fast for
He's running-
60.
Yeah, for his age, unbelievable that his knees can put up with that.
Dude, if any 60-year-old man did any one of those stunts, he would explode.
Yeah.
He would just become a puddle of skin.
Yeah, if you got my dad to try to film one of those scenes, he wouldn't survive.
You ever see your dad just come out of like a car seat from a long drive?
It's a lot of the. Your mother made me do this.
Tom Cruise is jumping between buildings.
Jumping a motorcycle. He's gonna skydive into the Hollywood sign or something.
He's like hanging on a wheel of like a plane about to that just took off, and he's like, "Let's do it again."
Yeah,
Like, dear God.
again. Yeah, have you seen
Again.
that? The video where he jumps his motorcycle off that thing over and over again.
Wow.
Dude, he does it so many times.
Do you think when he makes love, it's also extreme?
I honestly don't think he's had sex in 30 years.
What?
I don't know.
No.
He is so his like whatever he is projecting outwardly and that I am seeing is so sexless. And I think whatever. I don't know, man. I think maybe there's some weird like repression stuff going on with Scientology. I don't think that guy has sex.
So you think that he's?
I think he's channeling it all into the movies, his only love.
Oh, so you think that he's been?
I think he might have chemically castrated himself years ago to focus on making movies.
Oh my God, like those.
Yeah, like a pedophile, but not a pedophile. I'm not calling him a pedophile.
Yeah, maybe like one of those, like those falsetto boys. That
The
church.
yeah.
What do they call falsetto boys? They castrated boys so their voices wouldn't drop.
I didn't know that there was a term for this.
I think so.
I want to falsetto boys. That's a podcast name if I've ever heard one.
Welcome to the falsetto boys.
I'm 48 years young.
I'm 53.
I got to start thinking about retirement.
Ooh, baby, let's talk about top 5 chicks we'd love to fuck. like,
These are my sciatica stretches.
no, I think that Tom Cruise, yeah, maybe he does seem kind of like sexless in a weird way. Like he's not really turning on women like.
I think he's had sex 10 to 15 times, and they were all in service of making that one baby with Katie Holmes.
I guarantee you he probably gets aroused and gets off on stunts.
Oh, interesting.
So he doesn't make love, but he literally jumps off a motorcycle into a car, a moving car on the freeway full of bad guys.
And then busts
And then
as soon as it's over.
And when they're like, cut, it's like, all right, change the pants again. I busted.
Yeah. They're like, he's like, did we get it? We got it.
God.
Diaper swap.
I only had one in me. Probably. And if that's the case, my God, what a extreme way to just.
If that's the only way, that would be funny if that's the only way he can get off.
Yeah, maybe.
I don't know. I've also been, I think it's possible that he kind of wants to die making a movie, like to make himself a legend.
Oh, wow.
I think-
Interesting.
It's like I don't know. We'll see what happens to him, but
Huh. I guess in his. Listen, we could go at any time, anywhere, anyhow. But in his mind, I think the number one way to go is like, I don't know, jumping out of a plane onto like another guy's back while he's parachuting. That's how he wants to go.
Yeah.
But if he went because he slipped on his linoleum, slipped on like his floor and hit his head,
exactly.
that would.
You think Tom Cruise is gonna let like, prostate cancer take him out? No, dude.
No,
He's gonna burst into flames trying to jump a boat through a flaming hoop.
Yeah, that's how he goes.
Yeah.
I think he's my height, 5'7". I think he is.
If he's officially listed as 5'7", he's 5'5".
A friend of mine was like in a Starbucks in Toronto, and he came in, and I go, "What was he like?" He's like, he waited in line, which is crazy.
Crazy, yeah.
Because you think his handlers or his, whatever would be like, I guess this is before you can like do a phone order or something like that. So he actually went in.
Must have been, yeah.
He just went in by himself. No guards, no like security, just by himself. And
Just hoping somebody tried to fight him.
but just in just like a black tight tee, some jeans and glasses, just smiling. Egg bite, please. Fill me full of egg bites. So my friend was.
I require protein.
Because of my crazy lifestyle. So he literally was waiting in line for a coffee, and all the employees were abuzz.
Of course.
Like Tom Cruise is about to buy a coffee at our local Starbucks. So he gets to the front, orders a coffee, says thank you, no pictures, nothing, leaves $100 tip in cash in the tip
little
bowl.
tip bowl, yeah.
Yeah, and then he got his coffee, and then he ran through a window. Imagine. He's like, thanks.
I gotta go. Yeah, that would be, honestly, I think the whole restaurant would get up and cheer.
And everyone's like, he left his coffee. He didn't even want the coffee.
Yeah. You know, yeah, there's all those like legends of Bill Murray like tackling people and being like, no one will ever believe you, or like crashing weddings or whatever. Tom Cruise should start doing that kind of stuff. Parachute into
Yes.
a Chili's.
He needs to live up to what exactly he is to the public. Exactly.
Yes.
Like, he's like, I want to get a coffee, and literally rents a chopper, parachutes into a patio,
Yes.
grabs a coffee.
Grabs it, runs.
Run.
No one will believe you, and then just run.
It'd be funny if, like, after you order the coffee, he just, like, runs, and he's, like, running with the coffee, and they're like, wow, there's no lid on that coffee. He's not even spilling any of it. He's really good.
Oh my God, the core strength.
Apparently, a friend of mine said he was wearing really high heels.
I bet he's a tiny little guy. Everyone in movies and TV, when you see him in person, you're like, oh, you have a tiny body and a huge head.
I know. It's
Yeah.
true. I guess because a lot of lean ladies are shorter.
I think that's
so
it.
they look good next to them.
I think that's part of it. And I think there's something about just how we perceive things through a screen. I think that for whatever reason, a tiny body and a big head just works on screen.
Also, it's easier to make someone small look taller on camera than it is someone taller look smaller, because you have to make everyone else tall around you.
Speaking of, my friend worked at Paramount, and I visited her on the set one time, and she showed me the two doors that they built on the lot for a specific scene in Eyes Wide Shut. There's one scene where Nicole Kidman leaves this door, and then later in the movie you see Tom Cruise leaving that same door. They built two separate doors. They built a much smaller one for him.
Why did they do that? Oh, so
it doesn't look like he's a tiny little guy.
Oh my God!
Isn't that funny?
Wow. So that way, from the audience perspective,
It just kind of looks the same.
they walk through the same door, but it's shorter by maybe 4 inches. Because
Yeah.
she's tall, right?
She's tall.
Tallest woman ever dated, 6 feet.
I think 5'10" for me.
But
You dated a 6-footer?
See, you glossed over that. You had to think about the math there for a second. There. Also, referring to a woman as a 6-footer is kind of like it's a marlin. You snagged a
You bagged a 6-footer?
Oh, nice, man. Did you gut her? Like, no.
What kind of lures?
Yeah, what kind of bait you working with? You got yourself
Something shiny?
Must got a big bait. You're working with a 6-footer. No, she was 6 feet tall, and she was always like, I can wear flats. I'm like, wear heels. I don't care.
Yeah.
And not because I've got a huge dong, although I've been told by people online that I do, mainly because for perspective, I'm holding a smaller phone. But she always wore heels, and I was totally cool with it because here's the thing: I think stand-up makes a shorter guy feel confident in ways that I can't explain.
Yeah.
Because, I'm 5'7", but in my mind, you almost feel superhuman as a stand-up. Because you can do something that no one else in that room can do. And I've done so many shows where some guy's 6'3", looks like a linebacker that can rip my head off, and he's just like, what you do makes me scared.
Yeah. Yeah.
You're so brave.
Yeah. So I can stand next to a lady who's taller than me.
Yeah.
That's never.
So I don't get intimidated by that because if I was intimidated by height from a woman, I'd be intimidated by height from everybody in the audience. I'm not saying that took a lot of years to do, but especially when you're doing crowd work and like, look at this guy, you look like an idiot, and that guy could literally rip my head off.
Yeah, you gotta be confident.
So when she would wear heels, my mind would be like, everyone in this bar or lounge, wherever we would go on a date or a restaurant, would think, what is it? What's going on? What is up with that guy? Why isn't he embarrassed? Why isn't he like walking? Why isn't he making?
Why isn't he in a little papoose on her belly, being carried around on a baby Bjorn?
Why isn't he wearing heels?
Yeah.
Why I don't get it. So
Is
everyone
he wearing
thinks,
flats?
and then you think maybe he's somebody.
Now that's
Maybe
something.
maybe he's famous.
Maybe he's famous.
Maybe he's rich.
How else can you explain how
Yeah.
we ended up with this Amazonian goddess?
And then the waitress and waiter and all the servers are like, she paid. Oh, okay.
Okay. I gotta find out this guy's secret.
What's in his little jeans?
Gotta be rich. Some combination of rich, hog meat to spare,
Maybe.
and Riz.
The Riz.
The Riz, you can't underestimate the
The
Riz.
Riz. So what else is going on? What's going on with you? You look like you just left a poker tournament.
Hold on, we'll come back to that. But I just want to ask. Speaking
You
of
are
Tom
sunglasses
Cruise.
away from looking like a professional poker player.
Yeah, I do.
Yeah.
Yeah,
If you had the sunglasses on, you look like you're about to like fucking get the river and really make me pay. Oh
check.
my god, you do look like a
I
poker.
check. Hold on, I gotta put the hood up.
Hood up.
I check. You gonna make me do this? You gonna make me do this? I'm all in.
There we
There we
go.
go.
There you go.
But I wanted to ask real quick: have you ever had the Tom Cruise cake?
What's that?
You never heard about the Tom Cruise cake, dude?
No.
Dog, you never heard about the Tom Cruise cake? So Tom Cruise is kind of notorious for giving out a bunch of cakes around Christmas.
Really?
Yeah, like
To
if
who?
you've ever, kind of anyone he's ever had a positive interaction with, from what I understand.
Really?
Yeah, so he just keeps a list. If he meets you and you work with him or whatever, you end up on his list and you get a cake that's made by some bakery. I forget. You can just buy the cake on Goldbelly, but it's cooler when Tom Cruise sends it to you, obviously. And I've had a piece of the cake. I've had a piece of a Tom Cruise cake.
How'd you get it?
My ex used to work on Corden, and after she left that job, would dog sit for one of the producers.
Right.
And Tom Cruise, when he had gone on Corden at some point, had met this producer, and I guess they had a nice chat or whatever. So she ended up on the list. So every year she would get this cake, and it's a big cake. So she would cut off a big piece and be like, "Hey, you could take this." So she brought it over.
Did he have any interaction with the cake at all?
Tom,
Yeah.
not that I know of.
Okay. Because that'd be kind of cool if he actually like at some
Brought
point
it to you?
handled it at someone, but an assistant got it.
Yeah, it's all, he just says put this person on the cake list, and then the assistant around November just starts sending out the cakes.
What are your thoughts on this? We're baseball guys. We
Yeah.
love baseball. What are your thoughts on the Derek Jeter? You know what
The
I'm
gift bag?
The gift bag.
I think it's a classy touch.
What's in the gift bag?
Great question. I have a friend whose sister hooked up with Derek Jeter,
Really? I have a friend.
but pre-gift bag era.
Oh.
Yeah, isn't that disappointing?
I have a friend. I know someone that hooked up with Derek Jeter. No gift bag either.
No gift bag. Maybe it's not even true.
Maybe.
I'd love to believe it's true.
Yeah. Robbie Alomar used to give girls AIDS. Sorry. You can read about that in the news. I'm not even that off.
Wait, did Robbie Alomar have?
Yeah, Robbie Alomar had HIV, and a woman sued him for giving him HIV.
I did not know this.
You did not know this?
I did not know this.
Wow, you don't know your Toronto
I guess
baseball
not,
baseball
yeah.
lords, and they had to remove his number from the Wall
From the
of
Ring
Excellence.
of Fame or the
Yeah,
Oh,
from-
really? Yeah, I guess if you knowingly give someone HIV,
He used to live in the stadium because they had a hotel. They had a hotel.
What?
Yeah, so the Sky Dome used to have a hotel in the stadium, and in your window would be the game.
That's so sick.
Yeah, and it still does. And they used, I can't remember what it was. Was it like a Hilton or Radisson or something like that?
That's so sick.
So you'd get, that was one of their lures, like the hotel window is the stadium, and you could watch the games. So it was like a hefty price because you could watch.
Yeah.
If you're there for a week, you're watching maybe 3 or 4 games.
That's so cool.
So he used to live in the stadium, and there were stories about him like bringing hordes and hordes of whores. But he apparently was in denial about his HIV. Said he didn't have it, and then some woman tested positive and ended up suing him for millions because he knowingly gave it to her.
Wow.
Yeah,
Is he still alive?
yeah, but that it's not really, obviously it's not only death.
Yeah, it's not like
look at Magic Johnson. I mean, he did. No one's done more with AIDS than him. He's in so many movie theaters.
Movie theaters, the Dodgers.
The Dodgers.
Does he still on the part of the Dodgers? Yeah, he does, right?
I think so. He was at the game.
Yeah.
But Derek Jeter gives a gift bag to any woman that he hooks up with, which I think it depends what's in it. That's what if it's a classy
Depends what's
movie.
in it, and it depends on how it's presented.
Yes.
If an assistant on the way out is like, "Don't forget this,"
Yes.
that's not great. But if Derek says, "Hey, I just I had some of this kind of around," and
No, he's not doing that. You know what he's doing?
What?
He's literally rolling over, being like this. Whew. Nice, good job. All right, it's the gift bag's by the door.
Yeah.
Just don't worry about it. It locks itself. It
Yeah.
just rolls over. You think he's doing this? Like, I got you something.
I think it at least started that way.
No.
At least with not. I don't think it was sincere, but I think he was a little bit like,
It'd be fun if he did it like a real athlete. Like you just toss it to her like a towel. Like, here you go.
catch,
Boom.
coming in hot.
Gucci purse.
Yeah,
Shoes.
makeup,
Starbucks card.
Uber gift card. That's what it should be. Just an Uber gift card. Yeah, but you use it to get the fuck out of here.
Yeah, well, imagine he just like tosses in the gift bag. They open it up like, oh wow, it's a Prada purse, and inside it is a day after pill.
Yeah, that would be honestly so funny if it was a morning after pill, a Gatorade. Like,
Oh my God, there's a morning after pill in here, a Gatorade, and
an
a
Uber
thank you
gift
note.
card. Yeah.
Oh,
You're so sweet.
thank you, Derek.
He's already shut the door.
He's like some other woman's already walking in. Oh,
And I wonder,
wait?
so if when he travels, does he bring gift bags, or is this only if you hook up with him at his home?
let's be honest. I think what's happening with Derek Jeter is that once they walk out, there's an assistant that's just literally waiting outside that hotel door, and he's like, "Here you go, courtesy of Mr. Jeter.
And sign this NDA.
Thank you, and there you go. Enjoy.
And
There's a car waiting for you downstairs.
goodbye.
Bye.
Don't look back.
Keep going. Don't.
Yes, he does this a lot.
He doesn't want to talk to anyone.
Don't make a scene.
Just go.
Just go.
Okay, I'm pulling out a gun. You better walk away.
Can you have tickets to the game? Get out of here.
So we're talking about good old Tom Cruise.
Yeah, and I'm dressed this way because I thought I had pants. I'm dog sitting, and I thought I had pants at the
That's
house where I'm
fine.
dog sitting, and I don't. So I apologize in advance if I'm showing a little too much thigh on the
No,
vid.
they love
or
it.
maybe I say you're welcome. You know what I mean? Who knows who's watching this and what for?
So we did our gig in San Diego. I was thinking, like, we've done some road gigs together. What are some of the worst road gigs you've ever done? Has there been one where you're like, okay, I wouldn't say you question your job choice or you question your passions, but is there
Yeah.
moments you're like, oh man,
Yeah, I could
because
think of a
in all
bad
due
one.
respect, although the crowds aren't huge, it is pretty sweet.
Yeah,
We're performing with our friends. We're getting some food.
we're having fun.
We're having
a free
fun.
meal.
We're making content. The people are excited to
We're
see us.
expressing ourselves.
Yeah.
We're making a room full of people laugh. That's so fucking sick every time, dude.
But was there ever I'm sure there is, where gigs you're like, what am I doing?
Yes.
Do you
I
have
did a
anything coming
show.
in
I did a show in Ventura about
Nothing back home in Seattle? I guess you were kind of like back then. You were kind of like miking, right? So it was all fun and Disney.
No, yeah, I mean, I was doing road gigs, but most of them were not like depressing in the way that this one was. I did like a casino in Oregon where it was just like, boy, nobody's listening. You know what I mean?
Really?
Yeah.
You felt like you're in the way.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, where we all were, it was all of us just talking for whatever the amount of time we were supposed to go, and no one there, they didn't turn off the TVs, no one there wanted to see it, no one there who worked there cared. It was just sort of like, but we knew that going in. We were
Right.
like, whatever, we're all getting a check, who cares?
Right.
But I did this gig in Ventura, and it was bad. It was like a month after I moved to LA, so I was like, I truly had not figured out anything about LA yet, and so I was having a hard time getting shows and stuff.
Right. You're accepting shows that are too far away. You're like, oh, that's 2 hours away. Oh, why did I do that?
But this was a specific type of show. I'm not gonna give away the person's name, but the booker I don't like, and he's allegedly a predator. And I, at the time, I had already like kind of had a falling out with him at one point because he got mad at me because I did a competing show, and I was like, dude, I
hate that crap.
yeah. And
Like
so I was
we're
like,
starving as is. You're like, don't go there because I don't like them, and
Yeah.
it's in the same zip code.
Yeah.
Like, fuck off.
yeah. And it was one of these high shows where you do a set and then you get high and you do another set. The kind of show you'd never do.
So I just want to point something out. Me and Brent were in Washington, D.C. We were doing, I'm not going to say the company that's with because they're very good to us, but we did a show. The guy told me it's pot friendly, but don't worry, legally they can't smoke pot indoors. I'm like, okay, I don't want to reek like pot. I don't want to smell like. Listen, I'm okay with smoking weed and whatever. I'm not some sort of like choir boy, but I don't want to get ripped, especially for a guy who doesn't get ripped at all. I don't even drink like sugared water, or sugared soda water. So when we walked in, I remember
Give this guy a gummy bear.
remember we walked in, some guy was literally lighting a blunt, not even a vape, a blunt.
A blunt.
And
Yeah.
I was just like, get me out of here. But you got paid, which is
I
good.
got paid.
And then I ended up going to the club.
And I caught a nice contact high.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
But they were not good.
No, an audience that's high is never the ideal audience.
I think that's what bothers me the most, that you guys are all purposely putting yourself in a situation where you can't enjoy it.
Yeah.
Because the whole point is like, I hope I get some laughs and feel some energy, and then I'll go off to these different tributaries of like creativity. But if you guys are all sedated, I'm like, well, you guys, should we all just watch a movie? What do we need?
That would have been way better.
I know, right? Anyway, so
yeah, I'm doing the show. I ride with him because I don't know how to get to Ventura. I mean, I could have, but
did you ever met him before? At this
Oh
point?
yeah, I've known him for a long time.
So you're bracing yourself. This is going to be a funky conversation.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And he's the kind of person. One time I rode with him to a show in Portland. It's a 3-hour drive from Seattle. He did not play any music or any podcast. He talked for 3 hours straight. And it was a lot of the same on the way to Ventura. And then we get there, and I hadn't ingested any sort of marijuana in like a month. And we get there, it's Father's Day. This is like right after I moved to LA. It's Father's Day. I'm there. I get a little high in between. I get high for the second set, and I'm just like, I truly just have that moment of like, I moved all the way out here. I'm nowhere near my family so that I could do this. No offense to Ventura, but this was not like a good show. Like you get there and it's like
It was an ambush kind of show.
No, it was like in a comedy club, but on like
Well,
an
that's
off
good.
night, and there was just not a lot of people there.
So
and
the people ambush shows are when people are just literally eating or drinking, and then all of a sudden a show pops up in the corner of the bar and like, oh, I didn't sign up
Yeah.
for this. So
these people knew what they were getting into, but I'd also over the years come to understand he had this like marketing thing kind of pinned down, and I think the kind of people that responded to his marketing were not good crowds, and so they were not like a particularly good crowd. The room was not full. My first set didn't go great, and then I just got high for my second set, and then was just like, what am I doing with my life? And went out and kind of bombed for my second set.
Yeah.
Like fully was like, I don't know what you people want. I don't know what I'm doing here. It felt awful, and I got paid like, I don't know, $75. It sucked.
how
so
long
bad.
was that drive? Must have felt long. What did it go by fast because you were high?
There was somebody else in the car for the drive back, which was really helpful.
That's good.
Yeah.
Yeah, you were back seating.
Yeah.
That's good. You can learn to zone out.
Yeah.
Well, we've been on planes and cars before. It is nice when you're with a buddy and you can I think we're just gonna stare out the windows together, and not in a depressed way.
Yeah, just like we don't need to.
We'll have like, hey, some small pleasantries, but for the most part, if you're good friends, you're like, we're just gonna like kind of zone out, and I'll be like, hey, look at that. Oh yeah. But I think isn't it funny? Like if you don't know the person that well, they talk more, and you're like, if we talk less, I would like you more. It's a sign of like comfort, right?
Yeah.
It's like when you and your girlfriend or something like that, or me and my wife, we're sitting next to each other on the sofa. We're not like, and then what?
Yeah.
No, we're just like,
so, where'd you grow up?
again, tell me that story about your father.
Yeah.
I just like
Any
no.
big plans for the summer?
Any plans for us?
Yeah.
How do you feel? Where are we going to be in 10 years? Tell me every year, every detail. No, isn't it funny? Like the more you talk to your wife or girlfriend, you're like, oh, I could.
The less you have to say.
Yeah. Yeah, it is. Sometimes me and my wife, we just sit on the sofa, we just watch TV, or she watches TV, and I am on my computer. We don't say a word, and I couldn't be happier. And I'm like, man, talking to her to really ruin this.
Yeah.
I might think that if we talk too much, the marriage might end.
Yeah.
Yeah, communication may not be key.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I wonder if there's ever like a couples therapist. Like, have you guys considered not speaking to each other?
Yeah, have you considered just shutting the fuck up?
Yeah.
Just be in the same room and shut up?
Make love, watch TV together, make
Then
love
get
again,
a Zyn.
get a Zyn, order some food.
Whatever.
Don't even look at each other, and you guys will open your eyes. Will be 80.
Yeah. I mean, when it comes to tax season, you'll have to get together to figure that out. But other than that,
Yeah. So, bad show, bad company, food.
no.
Isn't it funny how much it doesn't take much to?
Doesn't take much. And especially if the club has even pretty good food. The food in San Diego was very good. But if the club even has pretty good food and they give it to you, oh my
I
God.
want to stress something to the people here watching the podcast or listening. When we were in Washington D.C. and I looked down at him, and his fingers were orange from the barbecue sauce from wings.
It was buffalo sauce.
Buffalo sauce, whatever. And he had a great set. The farther you travel, the more you hope you did well, because you want to make it feel like it's worth it. If you drove like an hour and you bombed, like whatever. But if it was a terrible show and it's like, bro, we flew across the country for this.
Yeah.
The fact that it's such a relief when it's a good show and
Yeah.
the people in the audience had a good time, or like, hey, I paid to see this guy or this show. I'm glad it went well. I looked down and I looked up. I went, wings again, huh? And just the joy in your face. You couldn't write it better.
No.
No.
That's something you can't pay for. you
Yeah,
know?
I just looked down and you just got wings, and you're like,
And give it up for the DC Comedy Loft. They made a pretty damn good wing.
I mean, if there was a woman under there just giving pleasure to you at the same time, and she's like, "How are the wings?" You're like, "Good, keep going."
I would have actually been like, actually, I want to focus on the wings. If you could come back to me later.
Hey, you're interrupting the wing eating.
Yeah, come on.
Okay.
Show some respect, please.
Okay.
Someone worked really hard on
I'm
these.
on a high right now.
Yeah.
I killed. I'm eating wings. You're pleasuring me. Also, I can't really help you out because the wings it'll burn. So.
Yeah. It's for the best if you understand.
Want to hear? I'm trying to think of a gig.
Yeah.
once.
What's your nightmare road dog adventure?
I mean, I've been in comedy for a long time, over 20 years. And I've got some stories. Man, how much time do we got? All right, I'll do one.
Okay.
So I did this show about 2.5 hours outside of the city. North, it was like campgrounds that had like people that vacation there in the summer. They have cabins, stuff like that. They also have like a community center, where they have events, right? Mm-hmm. So me and this comic, who I don't like very well at all, this guy was just not good, kind of an egomaniac, hard to find in show business. I remember one time I did a gig with him, and I went to the green room, and he was like on his phone, just giggling like that. And I go, "What are you listening to?" And he was like, "The early show." He's listening to his own set.
Okay.
And I was just like...
And laughing out loud.
It's one thing if you're kind of like, why did I say that?
Yeah.
I forgot this tag. I'm an idiot. Why
I don't trust anyone who can listen to their own set and not feel like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like that's how I feel when I listen to even a good set. I'm still like, all I hear is the things that
I think-
I didn't do right.
I think you can watch, because you edit your own clips so much. I
Yeah.
think you can watch crowd work and be like, wow, okay, well,
Yeah.
that's kind of fun moment.
Yeah.
But my own jokes, I'm like, well, I'm a fraud.
Yeah. I'm still doing this.
What am I talking about this for? Oh, God, I'm not evolving. And he's just like, man, 20 years still kills.
Yeah.
It's like, God, dude, fucking jump in a river and die. So anyway, this guy, I wouldn't say we didn't get along, but we definitely weren't that friendly. I get in the car with him. He's a headliner. I'm opening. The show is 2.5 hours, 3 hours away. We get in. I'm just a young comic. I'm like, so how are things? What's going on? How's the road? How's that club? Just one word answers. Yep. Nope. It's okay. Mm-hmm. just like, I don't want to be rude and put my headphones on and just
Yeah.
listen to music or a pod or whatever. So it's like, that's rude. So I was just like trying to, I guess I'll just stare out the window and not listen to any music. I don't know
Yeah.
why this guy's not playing any music, whatever. So then at one point I was like, ask him a question. He's like, nope, yep, just one word answers. And we're like maybe half hour outside the gig. I go, dude, do you like hate me or something? Why are you being so like quick with the answers? He's like, my voice. I had laryngitis. I'm trying to save my voice.
Oh.
What? Tell me.
Yeah, say that.
Say,
That
hey,
makes sense. Just say that.
Say, hey man, my voice. I kind of was yelling 2 nights in a row. I've lost it.
But in my defense, my wife really burned that chicken.
Yeah. I mean, I was killing. You can listen if you want. So I'm not going to talk. Put your headphones on. Fall
Yeah,
asleep. I don't care.
do, yeah.
Anyway, so we get to this gig. This gig is literally a bunch of cabins, a bunch of lake houses, and a community center in the middle. We get to this gig. We get to this place. It's wood everywhere. It's very like kind of rusticy, you know. And we're performing in this sort of, I guess, dining room, right? All I hear is like cheers in the room before us. All I hear is like cheers, and I was like, whoa, wow, and clapping.
Oh, no.
And I was like, oh, is there a show going on before us? And he's like, yeah. Go take a look. And I was like, okay. I'm like, what's going on, right? I open the door. I see a guy like holding a little piece of food like that. And I was like, what the? And a falcon, it flies across the room, and he just goes on his wrist, on his arm, his leather glove, and everyone's like clapping.
Wait, what kind of a room was this?
It was like a dining room.
Just a big ass dining room?
And a guy, the show before us was a falconeer.
Wait, where are you?
2 hours north of Toronto.
But like at a
I just told you, it was like a cabin.
just a cabin full of people?
It was a cabin, like a bunch of cabins, a bunch of lake houses, like a community. And there's a community
it was like
center.
the community center. Okay.
Yeah, I said the community center in the middle, right?
Okay.
And a bunch of people are there, they're clapping, they're cheering, and this falcon flies, grabs the foot of the guy's hand and onto his leather wrist guard or whatever.
Okay.
And people are cheering. I'm like, we gotta follow a falcon?
Yeah, you can't follow that. You can't follow that.
Dude.
That's fucked up that they would do that to you.
And that thing was flying around the room. So then he's like, "All right, everyone, me and little Freedom here. We're gonna call it Enjoy the Comedy Show." Without even hesitation, the guy running the show goes, "All right, you guys are on next. So I'll bring you up." I'm like, "Right now? Is that you gonna do some time off the top?" He's like, "Yeah, I'll do something."
He doesn't. He's got nothing.
Everyone's kind of just like, wow, that isn't it incredible how those things fly? Wow, the Falcon, it was like right above my head. That thing is huge. The wingspan of that thing. All right, everyone, we got a comedy show coming up. Take a seat. You guys are going to love it. Here's Eddie.
Oh, boy.
Dude.
And they're still in awe of the majestic wonder of natural
Flight of a bird.
flight of a bird, yeah.
So then I get up and I start riffing. I start making fun of the room. I start making fun of the scenario. It's all bombing.
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, oh man, this is not going well. I look over. The guy and the Falcon are watching me,
No.
not laughing.
Oh, no.
And he's just watching me, and the Falcon's watching me, and he's just feeding the Falcon like this. And I'm like,
And the falcon's covering its eyes.
and he just puts the eye cover over the Falcon. Just slowly drops the eye cover over the Falcon, and the Falcon just like just goes to sleep. To bomb in front of the Falcon,
That hurts.
like it's one thing if I'm bombing in front of a bunch of locals, okay, cool. But the majestic bird, everyone's just to see like another species watch me bomb.
Yeah, and to think that's maybe the first time it's ever seen comedy, and it was watching you bomb. Damn.
That's very funny. But think about this: you're bombing. You look over, there's a guy in a Falcon being like this,
Just staring. Standing up, too? Was he standing up?
just sitting up straight like this.
Okay.
Good posture in a Falconeer. Just being like, I don't know how people do that.
Yeah. God, I pray my kids don't want to be comedians.
God, I don't know how you people do that crap. So, dude, so then I'm bombing. I'm like, yeesh.
Yeah, he's got a deadly animal on his arm, and he's like, "That's scary." I could never do what you do.
He just goes like this to the falcon, and the falcon just like grabs my face, and I was like, "Yay!" Anyway, so then I get off stage. I introduce the headlining act. I literally walk out of there being like, "Man, like, what am I doing? I got paid $75 to bomb in front of a falcon." I kind of wander around the little lake community. I'm like, he's up there for an hour. I'm just gonna clear my head, look at the water, maybe, I don't know, maybe grab a drink or something. I don't have a drink. I'm like, okay. I check my watch, check my phone. He's been up there for 40 minutes. Let's see how bad he's doing.
Yeah.
Walk back in the room. Killing. This guy's destroying. Falcon guy laughing his ass off with the falcon. I'm like, just destroying. Just killing.
Yeah, that hurts.
The falcon goes like this, gives him a drink, you know. Hey, thanks. Hey, early bird special, huh?
Yeah, he got the worm. Am I right?
I was like, this guy's the best. Remember that little guy before him? That guy sucked. I hope that guy died.
Sick the bird on him.
Get the bird to eat the little guy.
Yeah. The bird looks hungry, and he looks small enough.
He'll just grab him like a little prey.
Man, that sucks.
So then, car ride home. Look whose voice works.
Suddenly he's very talkative.
Suddenly, someone can't wait to talk about the show. Wasn't it great? Weren't they great? Oh, they loved when I talked about my mom and my dad and their marriage. And oh, man, I didn't think that chunk about my kid would work, but it worked. I got pictures with the falcon. Did you?
Oh, God. No, because the falcon, you asked, and the falcon said no thanks.
I'm like, can I take a picture of the falcon? He's like, Freedom would rather not. Yeah. Just try. Falcon's got merch he's killing. Everyone's like, people are walking around with like a feather in their hat. Like, thanks, Falcon. Thank you, Freedom. Love the feather. You should get a new job.
Does the falcon have a mailing list?
When's Freedom playing again?
Yeah.
He's got business cards. Like, apparently we're doing our birthday party.
Has the falcon ever been on Marin?
Does the falcon have a podcast?
Yeah.
It's called Flipping the Bird. With Freedom. Freedom to flip the bird.
Freedom to flip the bird.
Yes, we do have a podcast together. Me and Falcon, we talk about our travels around the world. Isn't that right, Falcon? And everyone laughs. That'd be kind of funny if the falcon's on stage and he goes, Meow. Everyone's like, that's true, we do that. Yeah.
He's thinking, or he's saying what we're all thinking.
He just grabs the mic from me like, that's enough of that dumb comedian, right, Falcon? Everyone's like, yes, he does look like that.
3 applause breaks.
God. I hope that falcon gets on Kill Tony. Imagine. Maybe not now.
Yeah, he'd do great.
I had a good time. Did you have a good time?
I had a great time.
We did 1010. Oh, man.
10. It's freaking Dodger time.
Oh, I had a good time. So thank you so much for being part of this episode of Oh Hell Yeah. Do us a favor, subscribe to the podcast, hit the notification bell, follow us on social media. Please leave a comment, subscribe, all that stuff. We'll have a new episode for you next week. Talk to you soon.
Go Dodgers.
Bye.